welcome to Teaching Practicum. This is Unit 10. Hey, I want to talk a little bit about accepting constructive criticism. Of course, a part of this class and the assignments that you have for this semester involve your teaching, of course, your video recording of your teaching, and then we're evaluating one another. Of course, you're being evaluated by me, your professor, but you're also being evaluated by your peers. And so I want to talk just a moment about how we respond to criticism in a positive way. Many times we can be naturally defensive. You know, we hear what people are saying and they're critical of some aspect of our teaching, and our first reaction is to respond in some way that's defensive, to maybe explain why we've chosen the learning activity that we have, or why we said what we said, those types of things. But I want to give you three ways to respond practically to criticism. The first one is to try not to react, try not to overreact to criticism, but first to stop and instead of maybe that first response to respond in some way defensively is to not to respond. Because it leads to the second one. The second word of advice I want to give you is to listen. Listen for understanding. You want to listen to see what the person is trying to say. You want to accept that criticism in a way that says, okay, so maybe that makes me uncomfortable. Maybe I don't completely agree with what they're saying, but let me take a moment to really consider and see what they might be saying. Right? Because we understand that the criticism that we're giving in class to our teaching is to help us be better teachers. Ultimately, that's the goal. We want to improve as teachers. And so the criticism we receive, it can be maybe hurtful, or we may not understand completely initially, but if we'll pause for a moment and consider what the person might be saying, that's a part of listening and receiving and understanding. And then finally, be gracious. Be gracious in accepting that criticism, even if it's something that you may not agree with, or a person has pointed out something and you were purposeful and intentional in the choices that you made in the lesson, in that particular aspect of your teaching. Be gracious still, and be thankful for and thank the person for their criticism. In these ways, we can be good learners, and we can allow the time through the semester and with the class and these times of evaluation and criticism to be beneficial for us. So that's my hope. So hey, this week make sure you're doing all the reading that's required for the unit for this week, and continue to turn in those mentor meeting reports, and I'll see you next time. Hey, thanks so much. Bye-bye.